All right, the recording has begun. This is day number 3. That's day number 3, week what? This is week 2 of our journey together. And it's definitely a delight to have each and every one of you here. Again, it is day number 3, week 2 of our journey together. And it's definitely a delight to have each and every one of you here. Today is Wednesday. This is the Independence Week. Wednesday, the what? The 12th of July, 2023. The subject is, of course, mathematics. We're going to be doing maths for 2 hours and then English for an hour, a solid hour. Have a lot to cover in English. Have a lot of territory to cover for that subject. All right, so the subject is, of course, mathematics. All right. All right, anyone can remember what we did yesterday? What was our main topic yesterday? What were we looking at yesterday?
We was dealing with time.
Time, very good. In particular, we was looking at how to borrow time, how to subtract it, and also a little bit of how to add it, okay? Today, we're going to be looking at, our topic is going to be introduction to ratios. So that's our topic for today. So let's set up introduction. So topic, sorry. The topic is introduction to ratios. Introduction to ratios. All right. Y'all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the topic is introduction to ratios. Let's continue. So I want you to write down these objectives. Martini, can you read the objectives for me for the day, please?
Yes, sir. Objective. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to, number 1, define a ratio. 2, represent ratios in 3 different ways. Number 3, understand the difference between 2 main types of ratios. 4, simplify ratios using the HCF, highest common factor. Number 5, define equivalent ratios. Number 6, create and simplify ratios based on visual images.
Very good. So these are the objectives. Please write them down. This is what we'll be doing today. We'll be looking at how to define a ratio. What do we mean by a ratio? All right. Have anyone ever heard the word ratio? Here.
I did.
Yep. I did. Okay. Someone said this.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
A ratio is a numerical correlation between 2 or more quantities.
Interesting. So
there's 3 ways to represent it.
there are 3 ways, right? So
Yes. You can
all right.
put as a fraction to component.
Yes, very good. So we're going to define a ratio. We're going to represent a ratio in three different ways we're going to understand the differences between two main types of ratios: simplify the ratio, define equivalent ratios, and create and simplify ratios based on some images that we have. Okay. So are we done with the slide? Can I move on to the next slide? Are we still writing?
No, not yet.
Okay, people are still writing. All right, moving right along. Let's go.
I'm not done.
Okay, take a screenshot of it so you could be able to get it. I'll also take a screenshot on my end and put it in the chat for those who still need it. All right, so moving on. All right. Okay, there's a screenshot of it in the chat. You could look at that, please. All right. All right, ratio defined. Alasia Thomas, can you read what is a ratio? By the way, please write this down. Again, please write this down. Go ahead, Alasia.
A ratio is a comparison of two quantities. A ratio says how much of one thing there is compared to another thing.
Very good. Read the description.
There are 3 blue squares to 1 yellow square.
Very good. So this is an example of a ratio. Notice that we have 3 blue squares and there's only 1 yellow square. All right. So this ratio, right? This is an example of a ratio right here. This shows us how much quantities there is relative to another. All right. So there are 3 blue squares, whereas there's only 1 yellow square. So the ratio of blue squares to yellow squares is 3 to 1. So it's a comparison of 2 quantities. But as you go and you develop more mature in math, you realize that ratios doesn't only have to compare 2 things. It can also compare 3 things and 4 things and so on. So we could have a ratio with more than 2 quantities, all right? But for now, we'll just be looking at ratio with 2 quantities. And in this case, we have blue squares to yellow squares. So 3 to 1. Any questions on this? Any questions? Please let me know. Don't be shy. Tyrone, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Can you read what is the definition of a ratio, please?
A ratio is a comparison of two quantities. A ratio has how much of one thing. Hey, hold up. A ratio says how much of one thing there is compared to another thing.
Very good. Read the description.
There are three blue squares to 1 yellow square.
Very good. So that's a ratio. Kamai, any questions on this so far? Kamaya, any questions on this? Where's Kamaya? Kamaya Ferguson. Any questions on this? I got that from Kamaya. Tristan Moss, any questions on this? Where's Tristan? Tristan Moss, are you there?
Oh, yes, sir. Hello?
Any questions on this, on the definition?
No, sir.
All right, good. All right, good. Please let me know when I can move on. Are we done with this slide?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's move on. So we know a ratio is a comparison of two quantities, and it doesn't have to be only numbers, right? It could be stuff like oranges and apples. We could be looking at like actual literal things that happen in the real world. So ratios is one of those things that we use a lot in everyday life. Okay. For example, in this class, we could determine a ratio, right? The ratio of what? Maybe you can say the ratio of boys to girls. That's a ratio. All right. The ratio of males to females. That's a ratio. We can also look at the ratio of persons who are in junior school versus senior school. We can also look at the ratio of persons who are more mature versus persons who are in school. We can also look at the ratio of persons whose names start with A versus persons whose name start with, let's do it like that, persons whose name start with A through D versus persons whose name start with E through Z, right? So there's lots of ratios that we could do. And it's basically a comparison of one thing versus the other. And you can even look inside your room, and you can, determine ratios, all right? You can also look inside your closet and determine ratios. The ratio of what? Of shirts to socks, the ratio of long sleeves, the short sleeves, shirts, the ratio of, even if you're looking at the things that you put on your foot, your footwear, the ratio of slippers to sneakers, right? There's so much ratios we could talk about, right? It's a comparison of two quantities, and we could compare two quantities all day long. All right, so let's consider the three ways, okay, that we could represent a ratio. Sienna, can you read the slide, please?
Yes, sir. A ratio can be written in three different ways with the word to, for example, with the word to, for example, 3 to 4. As a fraction, 3/4. With the colon, 3/4.
3 to 4. And we read it, when we have the colon, we still read it 3 to 4. All right. So there are different ways we could represent a ratio in words, right? As a fraction and with a colon. All right. Sienna, are you there? Sienna Marshall.
Mr. Petit, I'm here, but I apologize. I have to help my mom babysit one of my neighbor's sons. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to participate in class, but I'll still be here taking notes.
Okay. Thank you. Kenyon, are you there, Kenyon? That's Kenyon. Kenyon, are you there? All right. Isaac Rule, are you there?
Well,
All right. Tell me the three different ways that we can write a ratio, Isaac.
a ratio can be written in three ways. With the word 2, for example, 3 to 4. As a fraction, 3/4. With the colon, 3/4.
So it could be written in word form, in fraction form, and using a colon, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jeremiah, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good. Tell me the 3 ways that we could write a ratio.
You can write it in like a whole number.
A whole number, what you mean?
Like you can write it in like explain it. Like,
Can we write it in the
you
word
can-
form? Can we write it in the word form?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, 3 to 4, can we write it as a fraction?
Yes, sir.
Good. And what else was the last way that we could write it in?
You can write it in
You write it on the screen.
you could do it like 3.5.
So we could do it like with a colon, right? So we have
Yes, sir.
it in word form, fraction form, and also with a colon. Do you
Yes,
understand
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Zarens, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What are the 3 different ways that we could write a fraction? Another fraction, a ratio.
With the word, for example, 3 to 4,
Uh-huh.
and 3/4, 3/4,
Uh-huh.
and with a colon 3 and 4.
So we could write it in a word form, we could write it in fraction form, and we could write it in colon form, right? All right, so let's move on. Are we ready for the next slide? Can we move on? I think this is long. So we know what is a ratio. A ratio is a comparison of 2 quantities, right? Looking at how one quantity is relative to the other. We know the 3 ways that we could represent it in word form, fraction form, and a colon. Now we're going to be looking at types of ratios. So we have different types of ratios. And so we're going to be looking at 2 types of ratios, all right? I want Matthew. Matthew, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you read this slide, types of ratios?
Ratios can be classified into 2 types. One is part-to-part ratio, and the other is part-to-whole ratio.
Very good. So this one is showing the part-to-part ratio. And then we have the part-to-whole ratio, okay? So those are the 2, and we're going to explain what we mean by part-to-part and part-to-whole, okay? Naya Seymour, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the 2 types of ratios?
Part-to-part ratio and part-to-whole ratio.
Very good. Before I explain it, do you have any idea of what we mean by part-to-part and part-to-whole? Like, can you give me an example?
No, sir.
Whatever. Okay, let's say for example we have boys and girls in a room, right? If I say I want the ratio of boys to girls, right? You think that's part-to-part or part-to-whole?
Part-to-part.
Yes. What if I say I want the ratio of boys to the whole class? Is that part-to-part or part-to-whole?
Part-to-whole.
Yes. You see the difference now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we have part-to-part ratios and part-to-whole ratio. So part-to-part ratio deals with the individual classes that we have within a quantity, and part-to-whole deals with how much of one quantity we have with respect to the entire group, okay? So again, part-to-part deals with one part of the group relative to another part of the group, and then part-to-whole deals with one part of the group with respect to the whole entire group, okay? So that's what we mean by part-to-part and part-to-whole. But let's look at it more in depth, okay? So I want one more person to read this. Can I have Ramon? Can you read the slide, please? Ramon, can you read the slide?
Mean this slide or the next one?
The same one.
Oh. Ratio can be conflicted into two parts. One is part to part ratio, and the other is part to whole ratio.
All right, so let's move on to the next slide. So this is on types of ratios. All right, go ahead, Ms. Johnson. Can you read this for me, please? Part to part ratios.
Part-to-part ratio shows how one part relates to another. Example of part-to-part ratio, the ratio of boys to girls in a class is 9 to 11. The ratio of orange to apple is 4 to 7, and the ratio of water bottles to juice bottles is 3 to 5.
Very good. So this part to part, all right? Part to part. So boys and girls in the class. That's boys in the class, girls in the class. Oranges and apples. Oranges in the basket, apples in the basket. Water bottles and juice bottles. Water bottles in the refrigerator, juice bottles in the refrigerator. Those things are one part relative to the other part, right? That's part to part, right? Not one thing relative to the whole thing, okay? So part to part ratio shows how one part of the ratio relates or is compared to the other part of the ratio. It's part to part, okay? So please write down this slide for me, please. I need another reader. Maybe I could ask. Ebony Johnson. Can you read this for me, please? Part to part ratio.
A part-to-part ratio shows how one part relates to another part. Examples of part-to-part ratios. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is 9 to 11.
Yeah.
Ratio of oranges to apples is 4 to 7. The ratios of water bottles to juice bottles is 3 to 5.
Very good. So all those are examples of part to part ratios, showing how one part is related to another part, but all of those parts are a part of a whole, okay? Please write it down for me, please. All right. So let's look at part to whole. So that's part to part ratio. Now let's look at another type of ratio, which is part to whole. So part to whole ratio is exactly what it says by definition, or exactly what it means. Okay. And so I want, let me read. Shekinah, yeah, Shekinah. Can you read this one, please? Part to whole ratios. Shekinah, are you there? Shekinah Kalma? Okay, I can't hear from her. Let's try. Shoshone, are you there? Shoshone? Is Shoshone there? I see she is there, but she's not responding. Lavar Brown, can you read this, please? Part to whole.
A part to whole ratio shows how a part is to the whole.
Read the examples.
Examples of part to whole ratios. The ratio of boys to the total number of students in the class, 920. The ratio of oranges to the total amount of fruits in a tree by 4. The ratio of water bottles to the total amount of drinks in the refrigerator is 3:8.
3 to 8.
3 to 8.
All right. Okay, thank you. All right, good. Naya, give me another example of part to whole ratio. So we have, go ahead. Say it again.
The total number of pens in a pencil case.
Say it again.
The ratio of pen. 1 second. The ratio of pens to the total amount of utensils in a pencil case.
No, you have to use different. So maybe you could say pencils, the ratio of pencils to the total number of let's say utensils in a pencil case. Maybe that'll work. You understand? Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we're talking about one part to a whole. Alasia, where's Alasia? Alasia
Yes,
Thomas?
sir.
Give me an example of a part to whole ratio.
The ratio of broccoli in a food store.
The ratio, okay, the ratio of broccoli compared to the total amount of vegetables in a food store.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, that's said. That's a good one. Jevin, give me a ratio then. What you think it is?
The total number of computer in a tech store.
All right, so you would say, what you could say is the ratio of a computer to the total number of gadgets in a computer store. Yes, that's a part to whole ratio. Yes. All right, so that's what we mean by part to whole ratio. And we have one part relative to the whole. Okay, that's part to whole ratio. All right, so let's continue. So part to part. Are we done with this slide? Is everyone finished with this slide? Can I move on from this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so we define what ratios are. Ratio is a comparison between two quantities. We look at the different ways that ratios can be represented. Can someone tell me the 3 ways that we can represent a ratio? The 3 ways we can represent a ratio. Anyone can answer?
Using the word form.
Word form, what else? What's another
Fraction form.
Fraction form, very good. And using a colon, very good.
colon.
Yes. So those are the 3 ways. So we define ratio. We look at 3 ways that we can represent a ratio. And then we talked about the 2 types of ratios. Can someone tell me the 2 types of ratios that we have?
Part to part and part to whole.
Very good. Part to part and part to whole. Very good. All right, so let's move on. All right. We have an assignment. I have assignment already. Do I have an assignment?
Hmm?
Do I have an assignment? Not yet. No, it's not yet. I'm ready for this yet. Okay, good. All right, so now that we know those 2, I want us to, what did I say? I say I was gonna run this video. I say I was gonna, we have to understand where we did that. Now we have to simplify ratios using the highest common factor and define equivalent ratios, stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so let's look into them. So let me keep it on the slide just in case anybody else still need to write that down. You have 2 more minutes to finish write that down for those persons who are still writing that down. And then we can move on to the other things that's on the objective thingy. Okay, were we done with that? Are you done with that?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's done.
All right, so good. So let's look at simplifying ratios. Okay.
I done.
Who said they're not done? What's the name?
Me.
The Marion? Okay, I just put it inside the chat so you can look at it, okay? All right, so Naya, can you read this part, simplifying ratios? We can treat.
Simplifying ratios. We can treat ratios in the same way we do fractions. By dividing the highest common factor, we can simplify them.
Very good. So if we have, so the way we can simplify ratios is divide by the highest common factor. So if we have, for example, 6 to 9, if we have this ratio 6 to 9, how can we simplify this ratio 6 to 9? How can we simplify it? Anyone? If the ratio is 6 to 9, how can we simplify that?
Divide
Dividing.
9 divided by 6.
Divide by 6? No, we can't divide by 6 because 6
6
can't
divided by 9.
Divide by 3.
We Can't use 9 because 9 doesn't go into 6 and 9. Someone said it. We have to use.
The same number which we divide into.
We have to use what? What number we have to
3,
use?
which is the highest common factor.
Yes, we have to use 3. We have to use 3 because 3 can go into both 6 and 9 without leaving a remainder. Okay, so let's divide 6 by 3. What is 6 divided by 3? What is 6 divided by 3?
2.
2, very good. And what is 9 divided by 3?
3.
3, very good. So this ratio 6 to 9, if we simplify it, what is the result? Say it again. What's the result? Can we simplify it? Someone's speaking, but I can't hear it.
2 to 3.
2 to 3, very good. 2 to 3. All right. Tristan Moss. Tristan Moss, are you there? Tristan Moss, are you there? Okay, I can't have from Tristan. Nick Forbes, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How did we simplify this? How do we simplify this ratio?
We divided 3. We divided 6 and 9 into 3, and we got 2.
2 over what?
2 over 3.
Very good. 2 over 3. So 6 divided by 3, Nick, is what? What is 6 divided by 3?
2.
2, very good. And what is 9 divided by 3?
3.
3. So that's how we got it, okay?
Yes, sir.
So that's how we simplify that. All right, next up. 6 to 9 and 2 over 3 are called what? Equivalent ratios. Now, why do we call them equivalent ratios, Martinique? Why do we call?
Because they are similar in comparison.
Why do we call them equivalent ratios?
Because they are similar.
The same value?
They have the same. I heard someone say they have the same value. Very good. 2 over 3
Same
and
value.
they have the same value. 6 to 9 and 2 to 3 have the same value. Even though they might look different, they have the same value, right? 6 to 9. 6 to 9 and 2 over 3 have the same value. Okay, they are equivalent ratios. So that's why we have equivalent. Equivalent ratios means that if you have one ratio and you are able to reduce that ratio, once you're able to reduce that ratio using a highest common factor, those two ratios are called equivalent ratios. All right, because they have the same value, even though they may look different. Okay, can I erase this? Or move on to the next one?
I'm writing.
No.
Same, I still writing.
Someone said I'm still writing. Okay.
Mr. Patino, always be inside the workbook too?
What the crap? No, not the notes.
Oh.
No, just the note. The workbook have It's a workbook. So workbook. Oh,
The tea I was not done.
one moment. All right, y'all can see my screen still, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let's move on to the next one where we actually gonna write down the ratio using our answer in simplest form. So we're gonna do these two examples together, and then I'm gonna allow you to do the other ones by yourself. You do not have to write, you do not have to draw the figures, okay? Just write the answer in simplest form. So I want Martinique, help me out with number 1. By the way. Yeah. I want the ratios for number 1. I want the ratio of suns to moons.
Okay. There are 6 suns and 9 moons.
So
6 to 9.
6 suns, you sure there are 6 suns? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. There are 6 suns. And how much moons?
9. 6 to 9.
6 to 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 6 to 9. So what we're gonna do to simplify it, Martinique?
We're gonna partition 6 and 9. 6 divided by 3 and 9 divided by 3.
Very good. So we're gonna divide top and bottom by 3. What is 6 divided by 3?
2.
2, very good. And what is 9 divided by 3?
3.
3, very good. So it's the answer for number 1?
The result is 2 to 3.
2 to 3, very good. 2 to 3. Naya, help me with number 2. I want the ratio of wrap sweets to jelly ring sweets.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jevin.
How did you get 3?
You mean how do I know that 3? Because 3 goes into 6 and 9. That's how I know to use 3. Yeah, that's a good question. Go ahead, Naya. How are we gonna get number 2? Wrap sweets to jelly ring sweets.
That's 8 wrapped sweets to 6 jelly ring sweets.
So we have 8 wrap sweets to how much jelly ring sweets?
6.
6. Let's verify that. Wrap sweets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. And how much jelly ring sweets? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what? And 6. Okay, so we're gonna divide 8 and 6 by what?
2.
Very good. Divide 8 and 6 by 2. Because 2 could go into both 8 and 6. And what are we gonna get? 8 divided by 2 is what?
4.
4, very good. And 6 divided by 2 is what?
3.
3. Are we done?
So, Mr. Petit, because I did mine the opposite way. I put 6 to 8. It doesn't matter which direction you write it in 8.
It does matter. It does matter. For sure. That's a
So
very good
I
question.
don't get to put the 8 in the front.
How we know? Because whatever goes for whatever they say first. So wrap sweets, 2. Jelly ring sweets. So you have to put the wrap.
Okay, all right.
You have to put the wrap one first. Okay.
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 Mr. Petit,
Go ahead, Martinique.
so they're respectively, right?
Respectively, that's the word. Respectively. Alasia, help me with number 3. Large building bricks, the small building bricks.
4 large building bricks and 6 small building bricks.
Okay, so you're saying it's 4 to 6. Let's see how much
Yes.
how much big blocks we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's right. And how much small ones we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alasia, what's happening? 8 of them. 2, 4,
I was
5, 6, 7, 8. Say it again.
I was counting too fast.
It's going too fast. Okay. Okay, simplify it for me.
You could simplify it by
Wait, let me
2.
change it. Let me change it to 8. Supposed to be 8. All right, good. What number goes into 4 and 8?
2.
Remember, we're gonna use the highest one. What's the highest number that goes into
The
4 and
highest is 4.
4? So let's use 4.
4.
So we're gonna use 4. So 4 divided by 4 and 8 divided by 4. And so let's do it. What is 4 divided by 4? That's gonna be what?
1.
It's gonna be 1. Very good. And 8 divided by 4 is gonna be what?
2.
2. Very good. So the ratio of building bricks, large building bricks to small building bricks is what?
1 to 2.
It's 1 to 2. Very good. All right, please write that down. 1 to 2. At this time, I want everyone to send me all the notes so far for it before the exercise. I want you to send all your notes. Before we go to the graded exercise, send all your notes, please. All the notes. Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Petit, I sent you my notes.
All right, please send all the notes before we go to
Yeah, I sent my notes.
we go to the before we go to the graded exercise, I want you to please send all your notes, all the notes from what we have been doing so far. It's a lot of notes. So I need to see a lot of persons send their notes. Again, please send in your notes.
Mr. Petit, good afternoon. Is this the
Afternoon.
only thing that you all did for this evening? Because I just logged on and this is the only thing that I see the ratio. I don't know if you all did anything before this. I
Of
just got
course.
on, so I don't know if I missed something.
Oh, you miss a lot, my dear.
Yeah, I know.
Let me see if I could. Let me see if I could put in the chat or.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see what I could do. I have them in the chat, but obviously you can't see them because you just reached and it wouldn't allow you to see it. I'm going to send the screenshot in the chat again of what we did. Okay. All right, that's the
You could
first
put
slide.
it in the screenshot it.
What I'm saying is it's a lot. So I put them inside the chat so you could pull it up on your own device. If you could see the chat. I mean, if you could see the pictures, the picture I have put in the chat so far, if that could work for you.
All right. Okay, I see it.
Okay. Please send me all of your notes, please. So far, I only got from Matthew, Alicia, Aaron, Shion, Ebony, Monique, Naya, and Anastasia, Aishano, Orani, Kenyan, and Gianna. So where is the rest of you all? Kai, where's your work?
Mr. Petit, I sent mine just now.
What's the name? Ebony?
I send you everything, you don't see it?
Yeah, I see yours. Yeah. I say your name? Yeah, Ebony, I see it. I see,
Mr. Petit.
I see, yes, go ahead. Someone call my name.
Yeah, so I was going to tell you that I haven't sent mine yet because I'm writing it off of the group chat.
Okay. Kamaya, I see Kamaya one. I see Jeremy.
I'm finishing my notes right now. This is Sienna.
Okay. Who I haven't seen? Chai, where's Chai? Chai, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Where's your notes?
I sent you them on WhatsApp.
Under what name? Your mommy phone?
Yes, sir.
No, I have it. I don't have your work. No, I don't have it. No. Try sending it again. Who else haven't sent that work? All right, so we're gonna go into the graded exercises. They should be easy. Shouldn't be difficult. Math is easy, don't make it hard. So we're gonna go to the exercises and you could be able to see how we got it or what we got. All right, so for these graded exercises, I want you to write down the ratios, leaving your answer in simplest form. So I want you to draw the images as well. They don't have to be perfect images now, because I mean, unless you're an artist, you could draw it perfectly. Just do little sketches of it. All right.
Mr. Petit.
Yes, sir.
Did you get it?
What's the name? Yes, I got it now. Yes, I got it now.
Mr. Petit,
Yes, sir.
I don't know how to draw a sketch.
You could learn today. Stop making excuses. Sketch the thing. Everybody could sketch something. If you don't know how to draw, sketch, trace, do something. All right, so that's number 4 and 5. Once you finish that, I want you to simplify it, please. Don't just write the answer, put the answer in simplest form. All right. Put the answer in simplest form. So for number 4, we want the ratio of orange juices to cups of tea. And for number 5, we want the ratio of dogs to cats to rabbits. Now this one is 3 of them. So be careful for number 5. All right. So we have 3 ratios one time. Or 3 quantities and 1 ratio. Destiny, where's Destiny? Destiny, are you there?
I'm here.
I don't have your notes. I don't have your notes for classes so far.
I just reached.
Can you look inside the chat and get the notes, please?
I write them down.
Okay. Who else? I don't see notes of. Tristan Moss. Where's Tristan
Yes,
Moss?
sir.
Why do I have to
Yes,
run
sir.
you down for your notes? Why you ain't send your notes yet?
I won't be home.
You want me in home? So why you didn't
No,
type
sir.
in a message? Let me know before I run you down.
Sorry for that.
Type in the message if you can't send it right now. Please send it after class.
Yes, sir.
Shekinah Kalma. Where's Shekinah?
Yes, sir.
Why you stop sending your notes? You used to send them on email, but you stopped sending them. What happened? Where's Shekinah? Hello, answer my question, please.
Sorry, I didn't have the phone to send it.
So make sure. So when you gonna have the funds, the phone to send it?
I'm not sure.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Well, you need to send once you get your phone, send the notes to me, please. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now we have class tomorrow. Please do not let class start tomorrow and you don't send your notes. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who else we have? Matthew, did you send your notes? That's Matthew.
Yes, sir.
Matthew. This yours or your mommy one? Which one is your handwriting? Oh, I see. I see the difference. Okay. Where the rest? Where the rest? Go ahead. Go ahead. Who asked the question?
Me. You said that this is the graded exercise.
Yes, this is correct. This is the great exercise. Okay. So draw a sketch of the images. Just a sketch. All right. And answer the questions. Can I move this slide because I want to go on to the next one.
Those are we decide. Those are I decide.
I ain't draw the rabbit and the dog yet.
I'm trying to rabbit.
I said it takes long because I don't know.
What his name is? What that is? Jeremy. That's Jeremy lying?
Yes, sir.
Who are you getting angry at? Not at me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. I thought so. I tell you, I don't want excuses. Do your best. And that's it. Stop making excuses. All right, so we only have 2 questions. Simplify them. Once you finish, please send me your work. And you also can put the answer inside the chat, please. It shouldn't take long. Yes, Jeremy.
This is gonna take long because I don't know what
Jeremy, what I tell you about making %. Jeremy, look, all you need to do, stop making life difficult, man. All you need to do is this. Cup. CUP. Then for the orange juice, put orange. So you know exactly what you're talking about.
I could have done that the whole time.
Yes, I just said representation, man. That's all we want.
Okay.
All right, so once you finish, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp, and then also put your answer inside the chat, please. So we are, Lanaya, I know you just reached. Where's Lanaya? I know you just arrived.
Yes, sir.
I will send you I'll put inside the chat what we have already done, so you could be able to see the notes so far. But basically
Okay.
for this one, all we doing is finding the ratio of oranges to cups of tea and dogs to rabbits, dogs to cats to rabbits, and simplifying it. All right, that's all we're doing.
Mr. Petit.
Yes, ma'am.
We setting it up just like how you set up the last one. Right?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then you simplify it. Wait, my bad. Lanaya, can you see what I'm saying and sending in the chat? That is the slides before. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now the objectives came before that ratio defined. So you have to write the objectives first and then.
Okay.
Naya, you finish? Not Lanaya, Naya.
No, sir.
What you want? Which one you want?
Number 1.
I guess you're busy being an artist. Let's say, all right, so let's do number 1 together. Who wants to tell me what number 1? Not number 1. Yeah, the first.
I'll help you.
First. Okay, go ahead. What's the name?
Aishano.
Aishan, okay. All right, so how much, so we want the ratio of what? Orange juices to cups of tea. So explain it for me, please. How are we gonna get down? So,
You gotta count all the orange juice first.
Count all the orange juice and count all the cups.
Very
All
good.
right.
So how much orange juices do we have, Arshana?
You divide them into two.
You
Go ahead,
have 12 oranges, orange juice.
12?
Yes, sir.
So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. So we have 12 orange juice. And how much cups of tea do we have?
You have 8.
8.
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Good. So what number could we use for 12 and 8?
4.
4. Very good. I like that you use 4 and not 2 because 4 is the
4 is the
greatest.
highest.
Yeah, 4 is the highest. Right, the greatest common factor. All right.
4
So go ahead.
4 could go into 12 3 times.
That's correct. So 12 divided by 4 is
3.
3.
So
And 8 divided by 4 is what?
2.
2. Oh, is this in assemblage form?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's correct. It's in assemblage form. Now, what do we call 12 to 8 and 3 to 2? What do we call them? What type of ratios do we call them? Start with E.
Equivalent.
Yes, equivalent ratios. Why?
Because they have the same value.
Yes, because they have the same value. What happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays why you can't come to class, Aishano?
I have basketball practice.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, you ain't tall for nothing. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Draymond Green.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Draymond Green. Wow. That's the
I
first.
just like his play style.
You like his the
Play style.
rebounding, the aggression.
Yeah, because I basically just like him.
Okay. Okay. I thought you was gonna say LeBron James. I thought.
Yeah, everybody expect LeBron or Curry.
Curry. Yeah. I don't disrespect Curry now, please. That 30 is special.
I have a question, Mr. C. I have a question.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Who is your favorite soccer player?
My favorite what?
Soccer player.
Soccer? Oh, I think it's Messi. Yeah. He's all-time great. Either Messi or Ronaldo. Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo. Either Messi or Ronaldo. Okay, so 3-2. Someone say Giannis. Yes, sir. Giannis is also great too. That's not how you spell his last name. All right, let's go to number 5.
I'll
right.
try number 5.
You want to try number 5? Okay, good. How are we gonna do number 5? We have, remember, it's dogs, the cats, the rabbits. Okay. Count all the dogs first. Okay, what do we have? How much dogs are there?
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Definitely, so it's 8. What else after 8? It's what?
Count all the cats.
Count all the cats. How much cats
2.
are there?
2.
1 and 2. Very good. 2 cats. And then after that, we do what?
Count all the rabbits.
Count all the
10.
rabbits. How much rabbits do we have? 1,
10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Now we have 3 quantities in this ratio. So so what number are we going to use to simplify it?
4.
No, you can't use 4 because 4 doesn't go into 2.
2.
2, very good.
I guess going
Is 2. Let's use 2. So 8 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2, and 10 divided by 2. What is 8 divided by 2? It's going to be what?
4.
4. What is 2 divided by 2?
1.
1. What is 10 divided by 2?
5.
5.
5.
So the ratio is 4 to 1 to 5. Anyone got these right? If yes, if yes,
Yes,
say
sir.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I got it right. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
I
Yes,
got
sir.
it as well.
Yes. Awesome. Very good, Sienna. Anyone else? So
Yes,
4
sir.
to 1 to 5. Good. Please send in your notes for this and your answers for this.
I got them both right also.
Deandra, you just reached and you're getting them
Yeah,
right. Oh my goodness.
John. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So can we apply ratios to the real world, right? That's the question. Is ratio only a maths thing? People be like, oh, Mr. Petit, how we can use maths? When do we use maths in the real world? We'll never use these maths in the real world. People always saying that. Is that true? Or do we use maths and we don't even know we're using maths every day? Right? So we're gonna look at ratios in the real world. So that's gonna be our last section before we go over to English. So I'm gonna show you the applications of ratios in the real world, right? And there are tons of them, right? It's so much. Okay. So we're gonna look at the application in the real world, and then we're gonna look at some, and we're gonna look at some, and then we're gonna look at some, what should I say? We're gonna look at some, what should I say? Some examples for graded exercise. All right, so let's begin. So this one says connecting ratios to real world scenarios. So this is section 2. So connecting ratios to real world scenarios. That's the second section. So head up section 2, not lesson 2. We have lesson 2. Supposed to be section. Section 2. So the next section is connecting ratios to real world scenarios. All right, let me know when you're done with that slide, please, so I can move on.
Want us to write that?
Yes, that's the heading, yeah. So you're gonna connect ratios to real world situations and look at how it's applied. All right, so the first example of ratios, Aishano, can you read this, please? Real life examples. Aishano, are you there? Is Aishano here? No? Okay, yes, please write this down. Anastasia, can you read this, please? Real life examples.
Ratios are used in real life to compare quantities considering the following example. Scores in games. A ratio, for example, the Warriors won 4-3, or the Spurs lost 1-5.
1 to 5, very good. So if we say, right, this is for, maybe I could ask Gianna. Gianna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if we say that the Warriors won 4-3, right? Question, how many games did the Warriors play in total? Think about it. If we say that they won 4-3, how much games did they play in total?
They played 4 games.
No. You want to pass it on?
Please.
7.
I heard it.
7.
Yes, they played 7 games. Okay. How much games did they win, Janaya? Sorry, Gianna. Oh, that's 7. Gianna, how much games did they win? Right there. They won 4-3.
4.
Very good. They won 4 games. How much games did they lose?
They lost 1.
No. Remember, they won. They
Three.
won 4-3. So how much did they win?
4 and they
How much?
lose 3.
How much did they lose?
3.
3.
3. Very good. But they still won the series, right? Because the series only goes 7 games. So it's the best of 7. So they won 4-3. Okay. So they won 4 games, but they lose 3 games, but they still won the series in total. Okay. Or if I say the Spurs lost 1-5. If I say the Spurs lost 1-5, Naya, how much games did the Spurs play in total?
They played 6 games.
They played 6 games. How much games did they lose?
1.
How much games did they lose?
1.
How much games did they lose?
5.
5. They lost 5 times. Because say they lost 1-5. So it can't be that they win 5 times. Otherwise, they wouldn't lose 1-5. They would have win 1-5. Sorry, they would have win 5-1. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they lost 5 times. How much time did they win?
Once.
They win once. Okay, so this is how we use ratios in real life. So sports commentators might say this, and you'd be like, "What are they talking about?" Oh, the Warriors, they just won the championship 4-2. They use it a lot. Oh, the Western Conference Finals, the series is 3-1, or the series is 3-2. It can't be 3-2 because it could be 3-2, right? So when they use those terminologies, they're using ratios all the time, right? So moving right along. So persons who are into sports would know, but these, if you don't know, if you're not into sports, you probably wouldn't know. But ratios are used in sports. What else is ratios used in? Ratio
Okay,
is
Mr.
used.
Petit.
Go ahead.
So is there a typo there, or the Spurs you lost 1-5?
The Spurs did lost 1-5. How much times did they lose? They lost 5 times. How much times did they win? Once. Okay. All right. Ratio is also used in directions for mixing. All right. So I want Martini, can you read this please? Directions for mixing.
Okay. Real life examples of ratios. Directions for mixing can be ratios. For example, use 1 egg use 1 egg to each cup of milk, or mix 25 parts gas to 1 part oil for the motorbike.
For the motorcycle. Very good. So we use it when we're giving people directions for mixing stuff. All right. So I'd say for each cup of milk that you use 1 egg. Right. So if, for example, if you're trying to make Kool-Aid, right? Tell me, if you're trying to make Kool-Aid, right? How much sugar should you use to water? Should it be
2 scoops.
Should it be 25 scoops of sugar to 1 teaspoon of water? Would that work?
Definitely. Definitely.
Definitely. No. Oh.
I don't get.
Would it work if I have 25 spoons of sugar? I know, right? 25 spoons of sugar to 1 teaspoon of water, right? No, that can't work, right? All right, what if I have 2 spoons of sugar to 1 gallon of water? Would that work?
No, the Kool-Aid's gonna taste watery.
It's gonna taste watery. Okay.
No.
So what if I say 1 cup of sugar to 1 spoon of sugar to 1 cup of water? Would that work?
That would work. But it ain't gonna be that
Yeah.
sweet.
Mr. Petit,
Yeah,
I
that
gotta
would
teach
work.
you how to make Kool-Aid. I gotta
All right.
teach you how to remind me when I see you tomorrow, okay? Remind me.
So, okay, so I need 2 spoons of sugar to 1 cup of water.
Say 3.
3?
Yeah, tree.
What?
Yeah,
3?
yeah. Oh, God.
Wow, that's a lot of sugar. All right, so that's ratios, right? That's ratios. We just was talking in terms of ratios right there. So ratios are used in terms of directions for mixing. So 1 egg to each cup of milk, or 25 parts gas to 1 part of motorcycle. All right. So we use ratios for mixing. And we use equivalent ratios if we want to make more. So for example, if the baking direction says, okay, for every 6, if the baking direction says for every 2 teaspoons of sugar, every 2 teaspoons of honey, you use 3 cups of flour, right? Let's say that's the ratio, right? So 2 to 3. But what if I want to make more, right? Then I need to use equivalent ratios. So I'd have to multiply both of them by 2 or multiply both of them by 3 or whatever, if I want to make more and more. Okay. So those will be equivalent ratios. Okay. So we use ratios in real life for directions for mixing. Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So we use ratios for scores. We use ratios, what else? Directions for mixing. What else do we use ratios for?
Weather measurements.
Measurements, okay. Weather measurements, okay. All right, we also use ratios for betting odds. Betting odds, okay. And betting is a big thing. And the betting industry is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. All right, believe it or not, it's a billion-dollar industry. So betting odds, we use ratios for betting odds, and you could bet at DraftKings. I'm not promoting DraftKings, but I'm just saying. But DraftKings is a sports place where you could bet on games and stuff. But those are ratios. So, Olivia, can you read real life examples of ratios? Betting odds.
Betting odds are given as ratios. For example, Black Jade is a 3-to-1 favorite, or the heavyweight contender is only given a 2 to 5 chance to win.
Very good. So if they say Black Jade is a 3-to-1 favorite, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean in words? What are they trying to say? Blackjack is a 3-to-1 favorite. What does that mean?
A lot of people bet on blackjack.
Very good. A lot of people bet on black jade. It's 3-to-1. So more people say that black jade is going to win. It's 3-to-1. Okay. But what if we say the heavyweight contender is only given a 2 to 5 chance to win? What is that saying? He's only given a 2 to 5 chance to win. What does that mean? No one knows.
I mean, he got a 2 or 5 chance of winning.
Very good. So we have basically 40% chance of winning. My math is correct. 2 to 5. Yeah, 40%. So that's not great. So a lot of people don't believe in the heavyweight contender. Well, he's a heavyweight contender, so he's not champion. So we use ratios and betting odds. So you see how we use it in everyday life, in mixing, and scores, betting odds. Use it a lot. All right. All right. What else we use ratios in? And this is not even touching ice. Are we done with the slide? Can I move it?
No, sir.
No, it's all writing. Okay. So we use maths every day, but some people don't even see it. That's how it's.
You don't use algebra every day.
Well, technically you do. You use it, but you don't even know you're using it. For example, the apps on your phone. That's algebra. That's just algebra and computer programming, right? And computer programming is algebra, right? Because you have variables, right? You have coefficients, you have all those things inside of it. So the people who design it had to use algebra to design it, right? So we use it, we benefit from it, right? But we don't use it directly, right? All right, so let's look at the next slide. So this is for my social studies people. A legend. Anyone know what a legend is? Like a legend tells you what is one thing, not a legend, a scale.
I don't know.
A scale, not a scale, right? So the scale is about, read this, Jevin, the scale.
Okay. Real life example of ratio. The scale at the bottom of the maps is a ratio. For example, 1 kilometers.
Centimeter represents
10 kilometers.
Very good. So we use ratios at the bottom of our maps. All right. So we know that the maps is not literally that small, but we say, okay, in real life, the distance is really 10 kilometers, but if you look at it, 1 centimeter is 10 kilometers. All right. So that's the ratio. All right. So we use it in scores. What else do we use ratios in? Scores, what else? I talked about. Anyone else can help me? I can't remember. Scores. Betting odds. What else? Use it in scales. What else?
Boxing as well.
I said again.
Directions of mixing.
Directions of mixing. Yes. All right. All right. So those are examples of real world examples of using ratios. All right. Am I done with the slide? This is not long. This is not a long. It's just what, 1 sentence, 2 sentences.
Yeah, you can move on.
Okay. And we use it with prices. So prices are often given as ratios, right? So we have a shop, an outdoor shop represented there, and we have the prices. Anyone know what this green thing is? Anyone know what that is? Let me see.
That's peas.
Peas or beans? Which one?
That's P.
That's peers. That's peers.
That's peers, yes. All
Peers,
right.
please.
All right. So anyone ever saw this in real life?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have these. All right. So, Martin, can you read prices, please? Prices are often given.
Okay. Real life examples of ratios. Point one, prices. Prices are often given as ratios. For example, 100 grams for $0.79 or 2 cans for $1.85.
Very good. So we have ratios every day. So for example, I might say, okay, if I'm selling, let's say I'm selling onions. And I said, okay, this onion, no, let's say onion. Let's say I'm selling pumpkin, right? I'm saying, okay, this pumpkin, we get this pumpkin, $1.50 per pound, right? $1.50 per pound. That per pound, that's a ratio, all right? So for every pound, right, that I get, I have to pay $1.50. So that's a ratio right there. So for every pound of pumpkin I get, I have to pay $1.50. Same thing for bananas. I say the banana is 50 cents per pound, which means that every pound that I get, I got to pay 50 cents. Okay. So that's what we see when you see these numbers here on the prices, they give you it how much it is per pound, per kilogram or whatever. So when they put it on the measurement, however much it is, then that's how much it's going to be based on that ratio. Okay. So prices is ratios as well. Can I move the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Moving right along. All right. So these are basically real world examples of ratios. So I'm gonna give my own examples, and I want you to put inside the chat. Put inside the chat your example, okay? So let's use number one. We're gonna use 4 to 5. Excuse me, 4 to 5. So my example is that for every 4 boys, there are 5 girls in the classroom. That's my example, okay? But I want you to create an example of a ratio of 4 to 5. It have to have 4 and 5 in it. My one, I say for every 4 boys, there are 5 girls in the classroom. Let me go to number 2. Number 2 is 1 to 12. I have for every 1 year, there are 12 months. So for every 1 year, there are 12 months. I want you to do an example for number 2 as well. So put your example inside the chat. For number 3, I have for every 20 nickels, there is $1. So 20 to 1. So I want you to create your own example. Put it inside the chat, please. For number 1, 4 to 5. For number 2, 1 to 12. And for number 3, 20 to 1. Put it inside the chat, please, your own example. Can't use mine. Okay. All right. So you might say, for every 4 shirts I have in my closet, there are 5 pants. All right. Or you may say, for every 1 pigeon, there is 12, I don't know, trees. I don't know. It could be anything. But I want a ratio, real world example of a ratio. All right. For every, so what you're gonna do? Put your example of the ratio in the chat. No one so far, nobody have answered. I want you to put your answers inside the chat, please. Put your real example inside the chat. Can't use mine. All right. For every 5 cars, there are 5 trucks in the parking lot. Excellent. Excellent. So that's what Miss Olivia, Matthew and Olivia said. For every 4 cars, there are 5 trucks in the parking lot. Let's go. Let's go. The rest of us. Let's go. There's a lot of us in there. I want more examples. I want to hear one so far. So give your own example of the ratio. Mr. Christian says for every pencil case, for every pencil case I have, there are 4 to 5 pencils in my case. No, that's not how you write it. You could say for every 4 pencils, I have 5 pens. That's right. Aishano, for every basketball team, there are 5 persons to 7. What? We're trying to say, Aishano. Read that for me.
For every basketball team, there are 5 to 7. Like it's a different team, but they have opposite numbers.
What?
No.
No. I say 4 to 5. Use 4 to 5. So maybe you could say, how much point guards y'all have? Y'all have. Okay.
Yeah, we have 3 point guards.
Okay. So maybe you say, I can't say that's not for every team. All right. Maybe you could say for every 4 basketballs we have 5 players. Maybe you could say something like that. Anastasia says, go ahead.
We could use 1 to divide.
Say it again.
Okay, we could use 1 to divide.
No, you can't use 1 to divide. No. For every 4 bananas, there are 5 monkeys. I like that one. Thank you, Anastasia. Chai says, for every 4 tables, there are 12 chairs. You have to use the numbers I give you. 4 to 5, 1 to 12, and 20 to 1. You can't use your own numbers. Micah says, for every 4 sharks, there are 5 fishes. Very good, Micah. Jeremy says, for every 4 apples, there are 5 mangoes. Yes. Alasia, you can't use your own numbers. You have to use the numbers I give you, 4 to 5, 1 to 12, and 20 to 1. Deandra says, for every shoes in my closet, there are 4 blue to 5 heels. No, that's not how you say it. You can say, for every 4 blue shoes in my closet, there are 5 high heels. Okay. Zarin says, for every cow in the farm, there's 1 dog. It's not 1 to 1. We're doing 1 to 12, 4 to 5, or 20 to 1. Aishano says, for every 4 basketballs, there are 5 persons. Yes. For every 4 pants, there are 5 shirts. Very good. For every 4 frogs, there are 5 windows. Very good. A ratio of 4 cups of flour to 5 cups of sugar. Very good. For every 1 mile travel, it takes 12 minutes. Yes. For every 20 units of water, there's 1 unit of concentrate. Very good. For every 1 clock, there's 12 Nikes. That's a good one. For every 4, that's Matthew and Martinique. For Oronique says, for every 4 oranges, there are 5 lemons. Very good. Shekinah says, for every 4 men, there's 5 women. Denaya says, for every 4 trees, there are 5 birds. Denaya, that's so, Denaya.
Yes.
That's so easy. Like that's like, you ain't even complicated at all.
It's easy. Don't make it hard.
Wow. Way to use my quote. Yeah. All right. For every 4 shoes, it's 5 bags. For every room in my house, there are 12 to 1. No worries, Shano. For every room in my house, there are 12 people. Maybe you could do it like that. All right. For every 4 shoes in the store, there are 5 employees. Yes. For every
Mr. Batin,
yes, ma'am.
are you having trouble typing?
This is Sierra.
Yes, sir.
Type it to me directly. You have my number?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, type it to me directly. All right.
Excuse
DeAndre say for every 1 month there are 12 days. For every 1 month there are 12 days. That's not really true. For every 4 Coke sodas there are 5. What? 5 what? For every 4 books there are 5 pens. I like that one, Demarion. Go ahead.
Can you excuse for a minute, please?
Yes, you can. All right, good. So those are good examples. All right, so true or false? Let's look at this true or false stuff. How we doing with that? We doing good with that. Lanai, can you read number 1, please? Determine.
Sure. Determine which statement is just determine which statement or statements are true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, read the whole thing. Sorry.
Yeah, read the whole thing.
Diet sodas equal 9. Regular sodas equals 5. A. The ratio of regular sodas to diet sodas is sold 5 to 9. B. For every 5 regular sodas sold, there are 9 diet sodas sold. The ratio of diet sodas to regular sodas sold is 9 to 5. For every 5 diet sodas sold, there are 9 regular sodas sold.
All right, so which one is correct? Which statement or statements is true? Anaya. Someone said what?
B.
C? C as in cat?
Yes.
All right, so who's that speaking?
State Anastasia.
Anastasia. You say C? Why you say
Yeah.
C?
Because it says the ratio of diet sodas to regular sodas.
Uh-huh, very good, because they have diet sodas first, right? So diet sodas is 9, regular sodas is 5. So the ratio of diet sodas to regular sodas is 9 to 5. Very good, that's correct. Is that the only one that's correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For every 5 diet sodas, there are 9. That's just the only one. Because all the other ones are written in the opposite way, right? So the only one that's correct is C. Okay, someone wrote for every 1 pillow, there are 12 pillowcases. That's right, that's good. For every 4 forks, there are 5 spoons in the kitchen. That's good. For every 20 vehicles, there is 1 parking lot. I like that one. I like the last one. For every 20 vehicles, there is 1 parking lot. I like that. Good. Whoever wrote them, very good.
Yay! I did it.
Yeah, that was a good one, especially the last one. That makes plenty sense. For every 20 vehicles, there's 1 parking lot. All right. Good stuff. Now, can we move on from this slide? Or y'all still writing?
Still writing.
Still writing. Okay, John.
Mr. Petit,
Mm-hmm.
I
Go ahead.
didn't get
Go ahead.
to get the exercise because I I didn't get cut off the class.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at these notes and boy, these diagrams interesting. These cats and dogs.
That's my comment first to stuff in the morning.
Actually,
Mhm. All right, can we look at the next question? Let's look at another true and false one. Can we move from this? Good. All right, so let's look at another one. Number 2. Do this one on your own, please. Do this one on your own. I want Naya, can you read number two, please? Determine.
Determine which statement or statements are true. Large popcorn equals 5, small popcorn equals 6. 3. A. The ratio of large popcorn to small popcorn sold is 5 to 3. B. For every 3 large popcorn sold, there are 5 small popcorn sold. C. For every 3 small popcorn sold, there are 5 large popcorn sold. D. The ratio of small popcorns to large popcorn sold is 5 to 3.
All right.
I could do this one.
You can, but I want you to write it down first and then we can do it together. Okay.
Okay.
So you have a minute to write it down and then I want you to do it individually.
So you gotta write all this down?
Yes, write it down for me. And then circle the one or ones that you think are correct. And then send the answer to me via WhatsApp. And then we could do it together as a class. So we have large popcorns, 5 large popcorns, 3 small popcorns. Write down the options that we have. The ratio of large popcorns to small popcorns is 5 to 3. B, for every 3 large popcorns sold, there are 5 small popcorns sold. C, for every 3 small popcorns sold, there are 5 large popcorns sold. And D, the ratio of small popcorns to large popcorns is 5 to 3. So write down the question and the options and then circle which one or ones you think are true. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. And we can work at it together.
Done.
You finished? Take a picture of it for me, Jeremy, so I can see what you have.
I said mine.
Just said mine, Mr. D.
All right. I think, yeah, thank you, Jeremy. I think Gabrielle asked to do this. So go ahead, Gabrielle. Tell me what you think is the correct one.
It
Or which,
is A,
Mhm.
the ratio of large popcorns to small popcorn sold is 5-3.
That's correct. So the ratio of large popcorns to small popcorns is 5-3. Is that the only one that's correct?
See, no,
Yes, sir.
No, it could be C as well. I'm thinking.
Yeah, C. Wait, no. No.
Can't be
D.
C.
I'm thinking D.
Oh, D.
Thinking
D.
D.
The
D.
ratio of
D.
small popcorn
D.
to large
D.
popcorn sold.
A,
No, can't be D.
I think it's C.
A,
I just
Can't be C. Only A because we have to keep the order. Okay. So we're trying to keep the order. If we keep in the order, the only one that's right is A.
I
Because it
was thinking
said,
that. It's a little tricky.
yeah, D is not right
Be
because
tricking us, man.
D is not right because it says the ratio of small popcorns to large. Small
Yeah,
popcorns
the
is not
3.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be careful. So the only one is A, like Gabrielle said. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, it's already 8 o'clock. I can't believe it. So that means that we have to transition over to English language. And we are on essay writing. And I got a gem yesterday, a very good gem. And I want to share with you all today. Someone wrote something. I marked their aptitude test and they did a very good job with their essay, like a very good job. I mean, it's not 100. It's not even a B, but
I would test for the essay. That you mean from the first one we did. Oh,
yeah, from the first one, they just took their exam the other day. So that's why,
okay.
yeah, and they did a very good job. It's a pity that they're not here. They could have their stuff read into the record, but I want to share with you their essay. It's interesting that they have it already and they haven't even entered the class yet. So they're very good already at writing.
see, I have a question.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
The picture I sent you, how is does the two first images look good?
How does the
Two first images look.
what?
The two first images I just sent you.
Oh, the two first images. You mean just now?
No.
I could see them. See, that's a little blurry though, but I could see it. All right. So let's begin with English language. Let's look at that. So we're gonna look at we look at the body paragraphs. But I want to give an example. We're gonna write a complete example today, and then after that but before that, the first thing I want to do is show you all the grading scale, how I grade the essays, and I want you all to write this down. And then after that, I'm gonna show you an actual essay. Which I believe did a good job in implementing what I said. And so when we're gonna actually then we'll just wrap up. So let's that's it. If you have any information for maths, please send it now. Any notes or anything for maths, please send it now. We're gonna transition over to English language. I actually have a, I don't know, a lot of people like English more than maths. And let's do it. Let's do a poll. How many persons raise your hand if you like English more than maths? Raise your hand. Like English more than maths. Raise your hand. Gabrielle, hi. Just two. Jevin. Destiny, Jevin. Oh, I thought there would be more. Lanaya. Lanaya.
How dare y'all?
Lanaya, wow. Lanaya, you like English more than maths? For real?
Yes,
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay.
I understand math. I never said I liked it.
Ah, gotcha.
I could understand it now.
Okay. But you prefer English. Okay. All right. I'm actually with those guys. I like English more than maths in a way, because English is more creative. You know, you could be more expressive in English. Maths is just like, yeah, the rules is the rules. That's it. You know what I mean? But English is that element of creativity, thought, you know, good stuff. I love English. You get the opportunity to be creative. Call that the humanities. All right. Okay, so let's head up properly.
I hate language because I ain't good with essays, so Lord help me with that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you believe it's hard. It's harder to teach.
Way better too.
You like say it again, Deandra?
I love maths way better than English.
Why?
I ain't too much with that, CJ. I could tell you that now. To sit down and write 500 words of essay, that ain't me.
That ain't you.
No.
But you know
Be
what is a
honest.
good way to think about it? Just think about it as talking. Like you know how much words we say in a day? Just think about it as talking. You know what I mean? You know, having a conversation, relating the idea, you know. That's English. All right, so today is what? Wednesday. Wednesday the what? The 12th of July, 2023. The subject is, of course, English language. And I want us to look at topic, how do I grade my essay? So I'm gonna show you how you could grade your own essay. Before you give it to me, before you give whatever you're thinking about giving to me, you could grade your own thing and know what I'm gonna give you. How do I grade my essay? Okay. And maybe we could grade somebody's essay, someone who's not shy. Maybe we could grade their essay, someone who's not shy and who's not afraid of critique. If you're shy, please do not send me your essay to grade right here. But if you're not shy and you don't mind me sharing your essay with everybody, then you could say, Mr. Petit, I want you to grade mine now. But the rest of you, I'll just grade your one privately. But if you're not shy and you want everybody to, Irvin, you want me to grade yours?
You could do mine.
You want me to grade? All right.
I'm really just asking you to do that for me long time.
Okay. All right. You sure you want me to do it now? I mean, like in front of the class, everybody looking.
Are you sure? Because I tell you, if
All right.
you could let me know.
All right then. Okay. So we're gonna grade Irwin on, and we're gonna grade who else? We're gonna grade Shion's essay.
Yeah, I wanted to say.
Say it again.
I wanted to say.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Personally, I really don't like English. The only thing I like about English is like grammar, it's like grammar and stuff, but essays.
Yeah, essays is not essays requires a lot of thinking, creativity, information. Okay, so let's grade it. So let's how do I grade my essay? So let's start off. So obviously, you know, we have the introduction. And this is how I grade the essays. And so some of you would see, if you look at your aptitude test, anyone can remember how much it was out of? Anyone can remember? If you look at your aptitude test. Your essay. Anyone can remember how much it was out of?
100 marks.
No, not the essay. Essay, I mean the essay. Essay was out of what?
70.
70. Yeah, the essay was out of 70. And for some, the essay was out of 69. So I'm going to show you how I got that 70. So you could be like, oh, Miss Bitty, how you get, how am my essay being marked out of 70? How is it being marked out of 69? And I'm going to show you right now how I got that. And then we're going to work through it. So you can make sure that when you give me your work, you make sure you have all these criterias so that you could be able to get full marks, okay?
You could bigger the screen, please.
Make the screen bigger?
Yeah, zoom
Bigger
in.
than this? What?
Yeah, zoom it up.
It's already big. Okay, I guess you want it all the way. So let me enlarge it some more.
Not too big now.
No. I guess let me enlarge it some more.
Yeah.
Maybe like that.
Yes.
Okay, so the first point you get, I have to make it small so I could write. Okay. So the first thing that you get is for the introduction is begin in an interesting way. If you begin in an interesting way, what do we call that? What is that called? That's called the what?
Hook.
The hook. If you do that, how much points you get? You get 1 point. Second thing, if you give background information, oh, look how I spell background. If you give background information about the topic, you get another 1 point. The
Mr.
next thing,
Question, sorry for interrupting.
go ahead.
For number one, you have doesn't interesting. Is that supposed to what it's supposed to say?
Does, no, it's supposed to say, why even write that? Let's say begin in an interesting way. All right, begin in an interesting way. My apologies. Thank you for that. Begin in an interesting way. That's the first point. The second thing is give background information about the topic. The third thing is
Thesis.
no, you state your position. So you're gonna say explicitly, I agree or I disagree. And you get 1 point for that, believe it or not. Now, some essays don't require you to state I agree or disagree. Some essays just require you to list your 3 reasons. That's why for the Bgcse questions, essay, it was agree or disagree. So that's why that one was out of 70. But for the Bgcse one, it wasn't an agree or disagree thing. It was just list 3 reasons. So that's why your one was out of 69. So the next thing is you want to list someone, mic is open. You want to list 3 reasons for your position in the thesis statement. Thesis statement. How much points do you think you get for that?
3 because of 3 reasons.
3 points. Very good. Then you want to ask yourself, now this is where the main points come from, right? The first 3 is fine, but the main points come from this. Free from grammatical errors. If you have your essay and it's free from grammatical errors, your introduction is, if it's free from grammatical errors, then you get 2 points. Next thing is the language. Mature and creative. If your language is mature and creative, then you get, how much points do you think you get for that? 2 points.
2
Yeah.
points.
The next thing, the introduction is coherent, which means that the writer stays on track. If you do that, how much points do you think you get? 2 points.
2.
Next thing is length. The introduction. Intro is 5 to 7 sentences long. If you get that, what you think? 1 point. So in total, how much is the introduction worth? How much points is the introduction? In total, how much points? 1 point for the hook, 1 point for this, for the background
13.
information. Yes, 13 altogether. 13 points. So when you give me your introduction, please follow it through the same filter. If you see that you got all 3 points, then go move on to your body paragraph. Because this is exactly what I'm using when I'm marking your essay, your introduction. I'm gonna ask myself, does it begin an interesting way? Does this person give some background information? Does they state their position? Do they list their 3 positions? Do they list 3 reasons for that? Sorry, do they list 3 reasons for their position in their thesis statement? Is it free from grammatical errors? Is the language mature and creative? Is the intro coherent? Does the writer stays on track? And is the intro 5 to 7 sentences long? Those are the things I'm going to be looking for in order for you to get your total 13 marks. Make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, out of all 8, which one do you think is the hardest to do for you? The hardest out of these 8, what do you think is the hardest one?
You definitely need a hook. That's the hardest.
The hardest. The hook. Okay.
Number 7.
Anyone? Number 7. Stay
Probably
right.
Probably
Stay
number
on.
3.
Number 3. Or number 3. Number 3 is just state your
State your
position.
position.
Why
I
is that
know,
hard?
but sometimes that's hard.
Why? Because you don't know which side to take.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I like that. All right. What do you think, Lavelle? What's the hardest one for you? Again, are you, Lavelle? What do you say?
Number 5.
Number 5. Yes. Making it free from grammatical errors, right? Yeah. That includes spelling errors too. Right? Naya, which one is the hardest out of this for you to do?
Number 5, definitely.
Number 5. Okay, interesting. Lanaya, which one is the hardest for you to do out of the 8?
Definitely number 5.
For real? Grammatical errors.
Yeah.
What?
Because
You
you don't
can't
realize
spell?
how much words you can. Yeah, you don't realize how much words you can spell until you have to spell them.
Yes.
It's so
Yeah.
different from saying words.
No, so different. Right? All right, free from grammatical errors. I think the hardest one for most students, to be honest, is number 6.
It's all.
Number 6 is the hardest. People do not write in a mature way. Some of you write it too.
Can I tell you why, Mr. Petit?
Yes, tell me why. Inform me.
Because we don't know how to spell the mature words.
I
So you just
I think that's part of the
just dumb it
problem.
down to so you just dumb it down to words you can spell. Can and can't. We know how to spell them. We don't
I
need
see. But I think
like
it's more than that. When I say maturity, I'm talking about something that is deep, something that
You
is
mean the punctuations and stuff?
no, not punctuations, because that's some grammatical errors. When I say mature, I'm talking about when I listen to your
Sophisticated.
sophisticated. That's the word. Okay, is it sophisticated enough? Is it mature? Like, does it still sound like you in preschool or primary school, or does it sound like you actually have a brain on your body? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. Some of you write too simple. And so you have to change what you listen to, right? And what you read. So make sure you're reading things that are mature, that are high level, you know what I mean, stuff. So the hardest one is number 6, because that's the thing that always have me tripping when it's time to mark y'all essays. I'm like, this person have everything. The only problem is that this thing sound too simple. I went to the store. I think they should change this because this, like, it sounds too casual. You know what I mean? It
So,
should be
Mr.
more.
Mati, you want
Mhm.
something like compound, complex sentence or complex sentence, more commas or
Of course, you have to have compound and complex sentences, but not too much. Don't run out. I'm not saying every word must be a eight letter word. All I'm saying is that it's more than just using big words. For some people, just use big words and still mess up using the words in the wrong context. It's about using. It's almost like making food, right? Like you don't want to use too much salt, but you want to use enough salt. Like
a
you don't want to
balance?
use, yeah, it's a balance, right? So I'm not saying use sophisticated words in every like line, because sometimes you could be surprised how much emphasis simple sentence might be. But it's using a combination, and the only way you can get to know it is if you read a lot. So you have to read. You have to read a lot, and not only read. Don't read like childish books. Read mature books. Read nonfiction. Read a lot of nonfiction stuff because nonfiction tends to be tends to have that language. You know, read the newspaper a lot. Read maybe I should suggest some books for you all to read, also suggest some books for you all to see. I should do that the next class. Please remind me to do that next class to suggest some books for you all to read. Or at least, even if you don't read the
Mr. Petit.
entire book, but you might at
Yeah.
least read, you know, yes, go ahead. Someone's asking a question.
Your extended student said it's the level of exposure.
Who said that? I don't see nothing in the chat.
Mr. Petit, your
Uh-huh.
extended student
Oh,
who's living
okay.
vicariously through me. Yes.
Oh, okay, yes. It's the level of
Yes.
exposure. Yes, that's correct. So you need, that's true. That's the word. It's the level of exposure. So you need to expose yourself to a greater degree of stuff so you can be able to speak in a way. Okay, that's the introduction. Next thing is the body paragraphs. Now, there are 3 body paragraphs. So everything I mentioned for the body paragraph, just multiply that by 3. Okay? So then you'll know. So body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2 is the same thing. Okay? So body paragraph, I mark them all the same way. So obviously, whatever I have, you just multiply it by 3. So 3x. Okay? So what you think the first thing I'm looking for when I look at your body paragraph? We talked about this last class. The first thing I'm looking for.
like the main idea.
So what I'm looking for. What's that word?
Topic sentence.
Topic sentence. So body paragraph has a topic sentence. It's 1 point. This next point is something interesting. The topic sentence correlates with the thesis statement chronologically. So what that means is when I say the topic sentence correlates with the thesis statement chronologically, it means that if you start if in your thesis you say we're going to talk about bullying, sorry, if in the thesis statement you say we're going to talk about bullying, and then we're going to talk about lack of parental guidance, and then we're going to talk about harassment, then your first body paragraph should talk about bullying. Your second body paragraph should talk about lack of parental guidance. And the third body paragraph must talk about harassment. It must be the same. Just like how you mentioned it inside the introduction, it's just like how it should be in your body paragraphs. So if you say bullying, lack of parental guidance, and harassment in your thesis statement, when you rewrite your body paragraph, the first body paragraph must talk about bullying. The second body paragraph must talk about lack of parental guidance. And the third body paragraph must talk about harassment in that order. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Naya, does that make sense? You understand what I mean by that? The how it's supposed to be in chronological order? Yes. Okay, good. The next thing I'm looking for is supporting details. So supporting details could be, we talked about it, quotes, comparisons, explanations, evidence, you know, the way how you develop your essay. So supporting details, you need to have at least three. So that's supporting detail. And then the next thing I have is a concluding sentence. Remember, we have to end it properly. Have a sense of like summarize what we said in that particular paragraph. And then the last three is the same as what we had in the introduction, which means we still have the same thing. Is the language mature? Is it coherent? And is the not the intro, but is the language coherent? Is the paragraph
what you mean by coherent?
coherent? Means you stay on track. That's what it means. Like you don't go off course. Like when you say one thing, it correlates to the other, which correlates to the other, which correlates to the other. Like there's a correlation between each one of your sentences. You understand?
Yeah.
You sure?
And you say it means stay on track, right? You don't
Stay
go
on
off
track.
track from what you're talking about.
Exactly. Don't go on track. So we mean by coherence. So how much, what's the total? What's the total number of points for this? How much that is?
10.
10? That's just 10?
11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I get 11. Only 11? I feel like I'm missing something else. Oh, grammatical errors. Free from grammatical errors.
2 points.
2 points, yeah. So altogether, it's what, 13 points as well. Okay, so what is 13 times 3?
26.
13 times 3?
39.
13 times 3 times 3.
39.
39, very good. So far you're gonna get, no, let's do 13 times because the introduction was 13, right? Yeah, so let's do 13 times 4, my bad, 13 times 4. So altogether you have 52 points so far, right? So 52 points already. 13 points for the introduction, 13 points for each body paragraph. So that's 52 points already. All right, can I move from the slide or are we still writing?
Still writing. Still writing.
Still writing, okay, good. Which one is the hardest to do for the body paragraphs? Deandra, which one is the hardest for you to do?
Probably supporting, no, probably the language. Yeah, number 8, probably the language. The writer for me to stay on track, because sometimes I could stray away from what I read, what I talking about. And if I think about something else, then the top question I go right on something else, which I finished that part of what I was,
oh my
goodness. So I could get confused writing, switching the topic.
Yes, I agree. That is the hardest thing for students to do when they write in their body paragraphs. It's particularly the body paragraphs, not so much the introduction, but for the body paragraphs, oh my goodness, they may start talking about bullying. And now they talk about all type different things. But you're talking about bullying, stay on bullying. You know what I mean? Don't stray away. All right. So you want to stay on track. All right, that's important. That's the biggest pitfall for a lot of students for their body paragraph. Tyrone, where's Tyrone? Tyrone, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can I move this slide, or are you still writing?
Yeah.
Say it again.
I have it, sir.
Okay. What's the hardest one for you, Tyrone, out of the 10 to do?
The highest one is highest one is number 9.
Number 9, probably free from grammatical errors. Yes, I agree. You know, it's another hard one for students. Would you believe it? Especially for the body paragraphs, is number 10. People write short paragraphs. Short paragraph.
Uncorrelated.
Say it again. Someone saying something.
Uncorrelated.
Uncorrelated. You mean the staying on track?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. People write short for the body paragraphs. Even my extended students, some of them, giving me 3 sentences, body paragraphs. I'm not gonna call no names, but they know who they are. Give me 5 to 7 sentences for the body paragraphs. Okay. So you must have a lot to say on the topic. Now, especially how these stuff are given as homework, you could use the time to research the thing, right? So that when you go into the exam, it might not necessarily have the same topic, but it might have something close to it. Because all these topics connected, you know what I mean? It could be something about teens, like something about teens they could talk about. So you'll research, do your research on teens. What do teens like to do? What do teens like to say? What are their habits? What are their dispositions? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And just fill your mind with all that data. So when you go on the exam, you can have something about teens, something. Whether it's depression, whether it's giving them driver's license or some about teens, because it's an exam written for adolescents. So you want to be familiar with what teens do, what are their habits, what do they do, like statistics concerning them, why is it so hard for them to concentrate, like stuff like that. And just fill your mind up with that data, read articles and stuff like that on them stuff. So you could be well able to answer any question concerning that. All right. Okay. So are we good with this slide? Good. All right.
No, it's already.
Still writing. Someone's still writing. So I can take a screenshot of this and put it in the side of the chat so we can move on to the conclusion and general information about it. All right. So the last part is the conclusion. Not the last part, but the next section, I should say, is the conclusion. How do we write a conclusion? The conclusion is a separate paragraph in and of itself. Okay. So, conclusion. Where's Naya? Naya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please pay attention for the conclusion. This is where you messed up for your the most recent one you wrote. Okay, so for the conclusion, you want to make sure that you restate the thesis. So the thesis is restated. Now remember the thesis talked about your 3 points, right? So you wanna talk about your 3 points, but you don't say it in the same way now. All right. So review your 3 points. Okay. Basically, basically this is how you write an essay. Number 1, you tell them what you're gonna say. That's your introduction. Number 2, you tell them. So number 1, you tell them what you're gonna say. Number 2, you tell them. And then number 3, which is a conclusion, is that you tell them what you have said. If that makes any sense. That's just three. That's just three. When you think about essay, that's the three things you're doing. Okay, tell them what you're gonna say. Then for your body paragraph, you tell them. And for your conclusion, you tell them what you have said. All right, does that make sense, Tanaya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in your conclusion, you're gonna say, hey, remember what I told you? Remember I told you I was gonna say this, and then I said it, and you see how it proved what I said? Exactly. So your conclusion is basically saying, hey, yeah, I did exactly what I told you I was gonna do. That's basically how your conclusion sounds. Hey, this was the question. Hey, this is how I say I was gonna answer it. Hey, I answered it just like that. Hey, this is what I did. I told you I did what I tell you I was gonna do. And this is why it's important. Okay, so show, the next thing is you wanna, oh, this is 1 point. Next thing you wanna do is show how all the ideas fit and support your argument. That's 1 point. Next one is, then after you already say, oh, hey, this is what I told you I was gonna say, this is what I said, then you have to show them why it is relevant. Like, why does it even make sense? So show why your essay is relevant. Why should we even care about your answer? All right. 1 point. Number 4, make sure it's free from grammatical errors. No, sorry, concluding sentence is present. Make sure it's free from grammatical errors. Make sure the language is mature and creative. That's 2 points. This is 1 point. This is 1 point. 2 points, sorry. Number 7. The conclusion is coherent. Remember, no new points is introduced. The writer stays on track. You don't introduce no new points in your conclusion. And the conclusion, number 8, is the conclusion. Is 5 to 7 sentences long. That's 1 point. So the total points for this one is how much? I think it's only
11 again.
11 or 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11? How is that 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it's 11. Okay. Oh, let's add one more. Number 9. I want it to be 12. Number 9. No new points are introduced in the conclusion. So you don't want to introduce no new points. You don't want to say, oh, and by the way, I forget to say this. No. No new points is introduced. By conclusion sentence, I'm talking about call to action, advice of some sort, something like that. So that's 12 points. That's the conclusion. The easiest paragraph to write. Because you already said what you said. You just can summarize what you're saying. All right? And saying why it makes sense. So the conclusion is really the easiest to write. It's the easiest paragraph to write. All right, please let me know if I could move this. All right, Chai, where's Chai? Chai, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you read the 9 points for the conclusion?
Okay, then. No need, no new points.
No, the 9 points, the 9, all 9. The thesis.
The thesis is restated, review your 3 points. Show how all the ideas fit and support your argument.
Number 3.
Show why your essay is relevant.
Number 4.
Conclude sentence is present, present call to action, advice, etc.
5.
Free from grammatical errors. The language is mature and creative. The conclusion is
Coherent.
The writer stays on track. The conclusion is 5 to 7 sentences long. No new points are introduced in the conclusion.
Very good.
Total points, 12.
Thank you. Yes, Destiny. You have a question?
That was a mess.
Okay. Are you done writing, by the way?
I'm done.
Okay. All right, who's still writing?
Me.
Me. Me. All right. For those who are still writing, I'll put the slide in the chat for you to have access to. I am going to move on to the last. So far, how much points that is? That is 52 plus 12 is what?
54.
52 plus 12.
64.
64. So how much more points we need now left to make it 70?
6.
6.
I mean,
Yeah, 6. The 64, yeah, 6. We need 6 more. All right, so the last 6 points gonna come from overall structure. So you get 6 points just for the structure, just for structuring your stuff well. So this one is overall structure. Number 1, there is a clear. You wasn't finished? Like I said, if you're not finished, go to the chat. I put the screenshot of it in the chat, okay? There's a clear introduction. There is a clear first body paragraph. Number 3, there is a clear second body paragraph. Number 4, there is a clear third body paragraph. Number 5, there's a clear conclusion. And number 6, the word limit is satisfied. One point. So total is what? The total is what? How much is this? This is what? 6?
6.
All right, so 52 plus 12 plus 6 is what? 70. Okay. So there you have it. That is the grading scale for your essay. Now I might just mark it with a 71 because I want to, or 72 because I want to take off marks for, or maybe 75. So I want to take off marks for people who's write horrible. So I might just put 5 points for handwriting. But for now it's 70. I marked the first one with a 70. Maybe the second one I mark might be with a 75 because I'm gonna take marks to people who's handwriting. So handwriting might be 5 points if I could understand it or not. So there we have it, overall structure. When I say there's a clear introduction, what I mean is you indented. So you indented for the introduction. I could see you have a full 5 sentences for the introduction. Then for the first body paragraph, second body paragraph, third body paragraph. Because some people, when they write essays, believe it or not, would you believe this? Some people, when they write essay, they just write one long paragraph. Would you believe that? You believe some people just do that? Would you believe that happens? They just write one long paragraph. There's no introduction, no first body paragraph, none. So I'm like, so you lose all these points because you don't have a clear first, second. So this is how you're writing, this is how your essay should look. It should look like this. When you see it on the paper, it should be like this. Indentation, boom, 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 boom. Then indentation, boom, 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 boom. Then indentation, boom, 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 and boom. Indentation again, then boom, 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 and then conclusion, boom, boom. So you can clearly see that this person has an idea of paragraphs. Why? Because they, at each point, so I know that this is the introduction. I know that this is the first body paragraph. This is the second body paragraph. This is the third body paragraph, and this is the conclusion. That's how your essay should look.
So the first, second, and third paragraph would be the points?
Yes, that would be the points. Yeah. All right. But the first one is the introduction.
And the last one is the conclusion.
And the last one is the conclusion. So in total, how much paragraphs you should have?
5.
5. 5 paragraphs. If you don't have 5 paragraphs, you didn't know you're on the wrong foot. And you know what I'm about to give you? F minus.
I didn't even know that was a real thing.
What? The amount of paragraphs?
F minus.
Yes, that's a real thing. It is possible to get F minus. So F minus goes from 0% to 39%. That's F minus.
Huh?
F minus.
So say if I ain't like really good with big words and stuff like that, and I just use simple words,
If you
they
use
would give me a
simple,
low grade for that.
if you use simple words, remember, but you have all of your indentation, all of your points and everything, but just use simple language, you could pass. You could get like a 60, you could get like a 65 or even a 70. But you ain't gonna get an F minus. But if you have simple words plus, you don't have no paragraphs, you don't have no introduction, you don't have no conclusion, you don't have
And
your
make sure
word.
everything's spelled right and all my full stops and everything in the right spots and
Exactly.
so on.
Yeah, you still could pass, but it's just that persons, what they do is they have a combination of problems. So they have simple language, plus they don't have indentation, plus they have grammar issues, plus they don't stay on topic. Plus, like it's a whole bunch of stuff. You bound to get an F minus. So if you stick to the structure of language, there's no doubt in my mind that you can pass. But if you're not sticking to the structure of language and you're not using mature language, you definitely can fail that exam. All right, so you want to make sure that your structure is perfect. All right. I used
So
to think
why
like, go ahead.
why you 3 paragraph in this and you say you want 5?
What you mean I have
Because
3 paragraphs?
you have first conclusion, then the first and second and third paragraph, and then you have introduction for first, and then you have the first and the second and third paragraph, then you have for the last main conclusion.
What's the problem?
You say you want 5 paragraphs.
Yeah. So the introduction is a paragraph. That's the first paragraph.
All right.
And the conclusion is the 5th. These 3 is the last, the 3 that goes in the middle. So the introduction and the conclusion are also paragraphs. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's grade someone else. Let's grade someone essay.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Jevin.
What is the grading for F plus?
F plus? Why you want to know F plus? You ain't gonna try to get no F plus.
No, just asking.
Just asking. I can show the grading scale. Let me show the grading scale.
Must be
Don't
from
mind,
29 to 59.
So I can see where I going wrong.
Huh?
2 minds so I can see where I going wrong.
We only have 10 minutes.
Mine
I can't. Who say mines? we literally only have 10 minutes. We can't do all of them. We can do them on Monday.
We can do that in the morning.
Tomorrow, no, tomorrow we don't have language. Tomorrow we have
yeah.
I can do it when you come. When you come with me on Sunday, I can do yours.
All right.
But I want to do your Aaron one first because he asked first. And plus his one is not long. I don't think his one is long. So we only have what 9 minutes left inside this class. So his one should be easy to mark. I have to show someone the grading scale. Let me show you the grading scale. Who asked the grading scale again?
Me.
What his name is? Jevin. Jevin, right? That's him.
Yes.
Okay.
Javen.
Javen. Okay.
People never pronounce my name right.
Javen? What is you say? Javen, right?
Yes.
Javen. J as in J. Okay, J. As in basically without the A. Javen. All right, so this is the grading scale. Let me show you it. Let me put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen for you all. This is the grading scale that I use. I don't know what y'all school use, but this is what I use.
I don't see it.
Can you wait until I put it on the screen? Like, put it on the screen first. All right. There we go. All right, so like I was saying, from 0 to 39%, that's F minus. 40 to 45 is F. 46 to 49 is F plus. D minus is 50 to 54. D is 55 to 58. D plus is 59 to 63. C minus is 64 to 69. C is 70 to 74. C plus is 75 to 79. B minus is 80 to 83. B is 84 to 86. B plus is 87 to 89. 90 is 90 to 95. Sorry, A minus is 90 to 95. A is 96 to 99. And A plus is 100. All right. So if you get an A plus in my class, there's only one person who ever got an A plus in my class. The person got exactly 100 on the exam. That's pretty amazing. Kudos to them. Very good job. A plus, right? So that's the scale. So if you get anything between 0 and 39%, that's immediate or F minus. All right. So we're trying to get 80 and above. All right, that's a good range, 80 and above. All right, so Erwin, ready for us to mark your stuff?
Good luck.
That's it. Good luck. Jay, for the sunbelt. Okay, where did you send your stuff? Where did you send your stuff, Erwin?
I changed my mind now.
You changed your mind? Okay. Okay, he changes his mind. All right then. So we go out early. Next week
No,
we're gonna
don't mind, don't
No, we
mind.
only
Don't mind.
we literally only have 5 minutes. It could take too long. I want to do it properly.
This was from the first class, Mr. T.
This is from
Mr.
no,
T.
this is a redo. This is a redo. This is a redo. So they want
A
me to
redo? You're supposed to redo?
yeah.
Redo one?
Redo the no, she did the entire thing over. I only asked for the introduction, but that's fine. Shion, I'll do yours on Sunday. When you come on Sunday, we can go over it one-on-one.
All right. And then we can see where my error is. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, we can look at it like that.
I need to do mine.
Boy, this teacher is a fairy.
Oh, someone in here is not supposed to be enough. At any rate, have a good night, everyone. I guess that's our cue. Take care. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you.
Adios.
Good night. Good night. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night, sir.
It over? Good night.
Yeah, it over. Yeah, good night. Yeah,
I
yeah.
won't be coming back.
All right, take care.